As I combed my hair, I learned to sit, I learned to stare. They said I shine, they called me wise, but never once looked in I spoke in scores, I thought in lines. A model girl with model signs. And when I wept behind the door, I wiped it up, then gave them more. I passed your tests, I earned your names. They hung me up in golden frames. And while I smiled through perfect pain, I learned to drown and call it rain. I bled beneath my honor roll. I begged to feel remotely whole, but every tear I tried to show was met with sweetheart, that's just growth. I did it right, I wore your crown. I held the scream and kept it down. You smiled and clapped while I performed, and never noticed I was I said his name, I told the truth. My voice shook like a failing tooth. I thought you'd pull me from the grave, but you just smiled and said, be brave. He's doing well, you said with pride. You wouldn't wanna ruin his stride. You both are young, don't make this mess. Then sealed my pain and prettiness. Come on. You wouldn't want to ruin his future, right? It's your word against his. Don't bring the police into this. I mean, do you want this to follow you forever? It already does. I did it right, I played your part. I buried pain and called it art. You gave me crowns for staying still, and carved his name into my will. You taught us how to color lines, then fade all the ones who dreamed outside. You clipped our wings and called it grace, then stamped our minds to match the place. You said think big, then boxed us in. You dressed obedience as when we learned to mimic, never mold. Just memorize what we were told. Every desk a deathbed dressed in light. Every bell a muzzle dressed as right. You praised the kids who made no sound, then wondered why they're never found. The ones who screamed, you line with curriculum objectives. Mental health support is available. After performance review, translation will help you after we break you. You told me fix it, talk it through. That's not our role, that's up to you. But how do I mend a broken wall when it's the bricks that made me small? Be kind, you said, don't make a scene. So was I. We can't control everything, but you controlled me when I wore a short skirt. Not when he grabbed it. And his snap went downstairs. I did it right, I hit her back. My fingers shook, my vision blacked. One slap, one scream, one tiny sin, and suddenly they all walked in. Violence, they cried, that's not allowed. They formed alone, they screamed out loud. Not when I can be whole and free. And now that I refuse to speak sweet, you fire right when they cut deep. Just shook your head and let me weep. But one bruise they can't Photoshop, and now I'm the one you stop. You didn't care when they crushed my name. You cared when they left marks you couldn't hide. It was never about safety. It was always about appearance. I did it right, I played your game. I took the blame, I wore the shame. But when I hit back, when I broke through, you cried, how dare she ruin the view. One scar they see, and now I'm dirt. But all my run, you called it hurt. You made me bleed without a sound, and caged me when I turned around. I never hated school. I hated that I was only loved when I stayed small. And the moment I screamed, I became the threat. Not him, not them. Me. I left one word on the board before I left. Empty. And now that word is all you're left with.